have a look at Hcmc this morning. Of course, today we are back at the earlier time. Market not been open for too long today, and already we can see that Hcmc isn't doing bad. Obviously, from 9:30 up until right now, we have actually fell down by a little bit, but obviously for the majority of the day, things were trading in this 0.0014 range, which was a fantastic move to the upside. Again, you can see that from these lows that we saw on Friday up until now, the share price up by about 18%. And whilst it is early in the day, people are still quite optimistic about what Hcmc is going to do today. Well, in this video I'm giving you all of my opinions on why Hcmc has been exploding this morning and what we could possibly expect for the rest of the day and going forwards into the future. But if you may enjoy that, we do look at Hcmc pretty much every single day. The reason is because you guys do seem to enjoy the videos, and of course if you guys do keep viewing the videos, I will make them because you do seem to like them. Obviously, I am not a financial advisor, but I do own about 846,000 shares of Hcmc. So that's my personal opinions on it. Obviously, I do own it, so I do think good things are coming, but all will be explained in this video. So now I've mentioned all of that, we are going to jump into this one looking at Hcmc. Right, so we're going to start off here on the charts on Yahoo Finance. So basically we can see on the one-day candlestick how things have been moving. Basically we are seeing an increase in volume in the past week or so. Fantastic. Volume now stepping up to around the 1 billion and above mark. Again, this sounds like a rather large number. It is a rather large number. When we take things into perspective, obviously the company has over 300 billion shares. So, you know, when you put things out like that, 1 billion isn't really that much. But yeah, volume is obviously still stepping up from previous points where we have seen much lower volume. Up here it was around 349 million, 198 million around here. So we can see volume is really picking itself up recently. Now, volume hasn't really moved the stock too much. We've seen a bit of an upside today, but obviously in the past week the share price is still falling down. Well, there are a lot of reasons for that potentially, and obviously volume just shows activity around the stock. In my eyes, I think that high volume that we are seeing right now is good. I think it could be an indication of things going good for Hcmc going forwards. People on YouTube or perhaps on forums always talk about Hcmc not having the potential to explode. Guys, I do think it does have that potential. It was a good point that someone made over on one of the forums just the other day. Somebody said that only a few weeks ago we saw the share price rise all the way to this point here of like the 0.006 range, and of course that was without any lawsuit news. And that in my eyes again is an indication that this stock does have quite a large following behind it, and these people really can see Hcmc do well in the future. So we have seen in previous instances how the share price has moved, and I do think that there is some potential for this in the future. Right, so something we had an update on the last episode, this was on Saturday I do believe, we had a look at the amount of short interest for Hcmc. Now in that episode, short interest was much lower than what we were seeing today, but obviously short interest in that episode was still quite high. If we can move this advert out of the way, last time we saw that short interest was around the 140-ish range, and that's in a percentage point of course, so things were pretty high. But obviously since that time, things really stepping themselves up. The short interest is about 761% looking at the short volume ratio. That's amazing, that's really big. We can see short volume now is about 906 million, so really big numbers that we are seeing. I spoke a little bit about this in the last episode, and I think this is okay. I think for some people who may want to short the stock, that's fine. Obviously people do this from time to time. If they think that the stock is going to go down, fair enough. They're obviously doing what they think is right, that is up to them. Personally, I think this could work out for them short term. I think if they are holding this one long term, perhaps it's not really in their favour, but short term, yeah, I definitely can see the stock dropping by a bit more. I'm going to speak a bit more about this towards the end part of the episode, but let's look at what we saw over the weekend. So Hcmc on their obviously on their official website, we have this little article here talking about how they are relaunching their vitamin and supplement online store at thevitaminstore.com. So again, pretty interesting. It's just another stream of revenue in my eyes. Again, long term, I think this is a good thing, another step in the right direction. So vitamins and supplements now from Hcmc. Pretty fantastic, pretty good stuff. Again, this was further spoken about on their Twitter page. If we have a look down here, we have a kind of cool incentive actually. People talk about how if you are to buy, the first 500 customers are winning a washable cotton mask, so very cool there. We can also see that another set of customers could be winning these Hcmc hats. So again, really cool stuff coming from Hcmc. Again, I think a lot of people who are into HCMC stock are going to be buying this product just for that merch. We have spoken about this a bit before, but yeah, really cool that they are doing that. I think it is quite a decent incentive. So yeah, they are becoming a bit more active on their Twitter as well. I've spoken about this before as well. I think it is fantastic. Twitter allows them to get a whole different reach, a much wider audience, and I think this really is going to help them. So far, their Twitter page has about 23.6k followers. So again, not the most that we have seen, but it is still a decent number. So fantastic there from HCMC. Their Twitter is doing pretty decent. But yeah, let's get back to what we have seen in the stock price so far and what I personally think we are going to see for the rest of the day and going forwards into the future. Well, so far, we saw that big rise in share price as I have just discussed. We are actually selling off pretty steeply in the past few minutes though, so again, things really falling down in price now, back up to the 0.0013 range. I think this is going to be the case for the majority of the day. I hope it is at least. I hope that we are barcoding in this range, perhaps between the 1-2 range and maybe even the 1-4 range. Again, if we can towards the end of the day get a bit higher than that, that would be fantastic. But personally, I do think this one is going to drop towards the end of the day. Again, I don't think that's bad at all. I think HCMC, a lot of people were perhaps looking to order this one on Monday morning. I think that is what we are seeing the effect of so far. So yeah, people really pushing up the share price today. A lot of anticipation for that. I do believe that there is a small chance of this continuing into the next week or so, and I'll be giving my opinions on this one tonight. So if things do change, I will obviously give you an updated view tonight based on what we have been seeing today. But I think if we are to see another day of relatively small sell-off like what we have seen previously, I think HCMC is probably going to fall a bit more. I know that a lot of people are looking to buy HCMC in the 0.0009 range, and again, it was a relevant point that somebody made over on one of the forums. With so many people perhaps holding out to that point, we just don't know if the share price is going to move too much, because obviously a lot of people waiting to buy the stock at that point. But right now, I think a lot of people are still going in today, which is good. And again, looking at the charts from about the Wednesday of last week, we can see things really flattening themselves out. Today, pulling us up so far, which is good. And again, if tomorrow can hopefully be positive, who knows, we could be seeing a start of a reversal pattern for HCMC, and the share price could start to increase. And there is nothing that I would love to see more, but personally, I still do believe that there is a small potential of this one continuing to sell off. That's just my personal thoughts, so guys. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you did enjoy it. I thought I'd just give you an update on what we have seen so far. So yeah, I'll be back later hopefully to give you another update, so make sure to join us for that. See you very soon guys, goodbye until this evening.